back with Market Sense. Let's focus on Elder Healthcare. They're in full expansion mode. So to talk more about how these expansion plans are going to pan out, we are currently joined by Dr. Anuj SAxena, MD at Elder Healthcare. Anuj, thanks for joining us on ET Now. You're now looking at expanding about 120 crore rupees. That's the kind of expansion pipeline. What are the key areas that this investment and this sum of 120 crores be spent in?
Well, the company is definitely expanding, as you said. The figures that you've quoted, have been quoted in a paper. Now, I'm not sure that that's the number we're looking at, but yeah, definitely in the last few years, the company has been expanding its portfolio. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've been focusing our presence in the skin care and the hair care segment. And in the pain management, we've got a couple of co-brands like Tiger Balm in the pain management, Fair One in the skin care, the fuel deodorants, Just for Men that we launched last year. And now the way forward for us is to basically get in more brands or products that will increase or consolidate our presence in these markets and eventually look at what are the other markets that we can expand to in the future.
Right. So, Anuj, for you and for Elder personally, in terms of the total run rate from the OTC segment, what kind of run rate you think Elder will maintain?
Well, Elder Healthcare has been growing year on year about 40% for the last 3 or 4 years, and I think maybe one of the reasons is because our base has been very small. But going forward, we expect that we should be able to maintain this run rate of going at about 30 to 40%, at least in the next 3 to 4 years itself.
Anuj, the sum of 120 crores, is it also for any expansion plan? Is there an acquisition that you may have zeroed in on? Because the news floating the rounds is that you are targeting an acquisition in the London area.
Well, that is related to the other company called my parent company, Elder Pharma, and I wouldn't be at a liberty to talk on that right now. I can speak to you only on behalf of Elder Healthcare.
Right. So for Elder Healthcare, let's try and understand the various business verticals, skin care, non-skin care business. Give us a sense of your individual verticals and the kind of growth rate you can share with us.
Basically, when Elder Healthcare started it's been there for some time, but we took it into an expansion and a growth phase in 2005. The idea was, as you're aware, Elder is one of the better companies in India that has got an in-licensing model in the pharmaceutical side. And we needed to make our presence felt in the FMCG OTC sector. We've had a brand like Tiger Balm and AMPM mouthwash for quite some time. And going forward, we knew that if Elder Healthcare had to become a recognized company, we needed to come out with brands initially which people would identify. They knew us as a pharmaceutical company, but to get to accept us as a consumer product would take a few years. Therefore, the initial philosophy was to bring in companies or brands or products that people could identify with or associate with. And one of the first brands that we signed on when we got into this expansion of presence in the OTC segment was Shehnaz Hussain Fair One. Shehnaz has always been considered a premium product, only available to the top level players, and the idea was Fair One was to make the product mass market, available across the country and with our distribution reach. And we started with that, and going forward, we've been adding products necessarily in licensing within India or from abroad. We tied up with another beauty queen called Vandana Luthra, VLCC, where we launched a full range of men's products last year. We tied up with a company in Australia called Combi, where we launched Just for Men. They're the world's biggest brand leaders, 80% market share in hair coloring for men. We got into color cosmetics with a company in Germany called BU, which is one of the largest brands there. So the idea was to bring brands to the Indian consumer where people would know and slowly identify with Elder Healthcare and get it to be established as a company that brings products that people will recognize, will associate with quality and price. And going forward, we'd want to not only consolidate what we have, but also eventually look at launching our own brands and consolidate what we have, because so far it's been an in-licensing model that has paid off for us as a company now, but I think in the long term, it's important for us also to launch our own brands.
All right, and it's good to have you on ET Now.